Everybody knows this. If you got a rookie quarterback or even a young quarterback, like a second or third year quarterback, the one way to overcome that is having veterans, is having a great overall team. The Texans don't have that. And what I think is going to get a little interesting, and I think CJ Stroud throughout this regular season that's coming up, he's going to struggle a lot. Whew. Last night was fairly interesting, to say the least. And oh yeah, by the way, we ain't doing no intro, none of that. We're going to get straight into it. I got a busy day, and I know you guys are busy as well. I will also like to start on this video by saying this. I already know I can smell you. Yep, I can smell the Timothy's running to the comment section. Man, it's preseason. It's preseason. Who cares? It's preseason. Blah, 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 blah. Shut up, nerd. We do this every single year with the NBA Summer League and the NFL preseason. Everybody overreacts. And guess what? I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. I'm a professional overreactor. It's what I do. I get it though, trust me. I'll be the first person to tell you, on the grand scheme of things, the preseason, it doesn't amount to a hill of beans. Who cares about the preseason? Nobody's going to remember CJ Stroud's performance in 5 years from now, or nobody at least is going to be talking about it. But, and I have a big but, at least for now, it is relevant news because it just happened. It is a big time thing because we haven't seen football in 4 to 5, 6 months. So therefore, when the number 2 NFL draft pick goes out there and doesn't play that good, yeah, it's big time news, at least in my humble opinion. It's most definitely worth talking about, and I'm definitely going to overreact. So with that being said, let's talk about it. Heading into last night's game, they played at 7 Eastern, 6 Central time. I was pretty hyped for it. That was probably the most hyped I've been for a preseason game in a while, just because I want to see how CJ Stroud was going to fare around and how he was going to do behind that offensive line. I didn't expect him to play too much, but I definitely expected him to play more than what he did. He only played in a couple of series, and let's just say it wasn't too great. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'll rate his performance in just a second, but let me give you some context if you didn't watch the game. To sum it up, there's not too much to say. He completed 2 out of 4 passes, that's 50%, doing some simple math here, had 13 passing yards, 0 tutties, and 1 INT. And let me just tell you off the bat, because you never know at INT, sometimes the box score can be deceiving because the interception can be the receiver's fault, it can be a tip pass. No. This was just a terrible pass by CJ Stroud. It was awful. Not too sure what he saw in that play. Not even too sure why he wound up throwing the ball, but he did. It is what it is. He's a rookie quarterback. Am I going to freak out about him throwing an interception? No. It happens, man. It's the NFL. Interceptions are common. It's not like college football. Outside of Patrick Mahomes, most quarterbacks out here per season are going to throw for 25 touchdowns and something around like 12, 13 INTs. I'll put it this way. The days of CJ Stroud having seasons at Ohio State where he's throwing 50 touchdowns to 6 INTs, that's over with. What stood out to me the most last night was he had 5 dropbacks, and on 3 of those, which is 60%, he was pressured. And to me, at least, if I'm a Houston Texans fan, do we have any Texans fans in the comment section? Let me know. That concerns me. And I also believe that's why they pulled him out too early, because he was already getting hit hard on a couple of plays. That one play where he was rolling out and had to throw the ball out of bounds, dude, he got rocked. I ain't gonna hold you. If I was a Houston Texans coach, now that I think about it, I probably would have took him out too. And oh yeah, by the way, it is worth being mentioned and throw in there. I believe the Houston Texans had about 2 or 3 offensive linemen starters that weren't playing in that game. I could be wrong on that. But that's what I heard, and it looked like it, because the O-line, when Stroud was in there, it wasn't too good. Overall, and all in all, if I had to grade his performance on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give him a 2. And the reason I give him a 2 is because he didn't do anything good, and he had a costly interception and didn't play that much. As harsh as it is to say, I think his performance was that bad, but yet again, it's just the preseason. Don't overreact. He didn't get to play the whole game. He didn't even get in a rhythm or do any of that. But here's my thing with all of this. I think Houston Texans fans have very unrealistic expectations. I stated this at the NFL draft. I was like, hey, the good news is you got Will Anderson and CJ Stroud. But the bad news is you're still going to go 3-14. I said that several months ago, and I still believe it to this day. I think the Texans yet again are going to suck, and CJ Stroud is going to hit a lot of bumps in the road. Your overall team isn't that good, and on top of that, you got a rookie quarterback. It's just not a recipe for success, at least not the NFL level. Everybody knows this. If you got a rookie quarterback or even a young quarterback, like a second or third year quarterback, the one way to overcome that is having veterans, is having a great overall team. The Texans don't have that. And what I think is going to get a little interesting, and I think CJ Stroud throughout this regular season that's coming up, he's going to struggle a lot. And I think with the Texans losing a lot, that may affect his mentality. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but for a lot of players and a lot of quarterbacks, it does. When you go from a guy who all you did was win, think about it. CJ Stroud in middle school, all he did was win. High school, win. Ohio State, win. And now you're going to the next level or the next chapter in your life and you start losing a lot, it affects you. It's different. You don't know how he's going to react, and that's what I always pay attention to with these quarterbacks who've won their entire life. That's going to be something to pay attention to. And last night on Twitter, Davis Mills was trending, and everybody tweeted out this. Davis Mills watching CJ Stroud play bad, and it's got Tom Brady laughing. I've always thought that was a tricky argument as well, because if you are the backup quarterback in anything, let's say the middle school, high school, collegiate, or NFL level, it's a bittersweet feeling because you don't want to root against somebody, but in order to play, you need them to play bad. So you are rooting against them. And it's so weird because I don't want to say you're a bad guy for rooting against them, because let's say if you root for them and they do great, well, then you're never going to play. Let me know in the comment section how you would feel about it. If you were a backup quarterback, would you be rooting? Be honest. Would you be rooting for the starter to do bad or mess up so you could go in there? I really don't think there's a wrong answer. If you say yes, I can understand that. If you say no, I also understand that. You can say what you want about Davis Mills. You can say, well, Matt, this is the preseason, but he looked good last night. And also, Case Keenum looked pretty dang good. But Mills, he's presumably the backup quarterback or the guy that was battling with CJ Stroud. He finished 9 for 12, almost 100 yards, 99, and 1 touchdown. And this is where things, like I was saying earlier, could get fairly interesting throughout the season, because what if the Houston Texans, they go out there and they go on like a 3, 4, 5 game losing streak to start the season? And during that losing streak, what if Stroud isn't playing too good? Do you pull the string and say, hey, let's give Davis Mills a chance? And then what happens if Davis Mills goes in there, and we saw it, he can play winning football. What if he goes in there and he starts doing good? What do you do in that case and scenario? Because don't act like that's crazy. We saw it last night. CJ Stroud didn't play good. Davis Mills, he played good. All I'm saying is, it could happen, man. It could happen. It was also being stated that CJ Stroud wanted to go back in last night's preseason game to fix his wrongdoings, but of course that didn't happen. And this is also another argument I like to talk about, because some people, they feel like, oh, well, it's good for a rookie quarterback to sit back and watch and learn. And I think that works for some people, but I also believe in just learning from doing it. Maybe that's kind of confusing. Let me give you an example to give you a better perspective. Let's say you want to learn how to cook a steak. Well, you can watch somebody cook a steak 4, 5, 6 different times, and you can take notes, do this or do that. But in my personal opinion, you're going to learn more from doing it yourself and failing and just learning what not to do. Let me know how y'all feel about that. But all in all, for CJ Stroud, he didn't play good. He looked like a rookie last night, which is totally okay. But, and we all know this, for the second overall pick, it's not okay. The expectations are way too high. I'm not saying that's fair. I'm just saying it's a reality. Moving along here, though, did want to bring this up as well. Will Anderson Jr., the other top 5 pick for the Texans, he looked great. Super fast, super explosive. Everybody knows Will Anderson. He's a beast. I really don't have to spend too much time talking about him because his game speaks for itself. Moving ahead here, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Bryce Young plays the Jets tomorrow at 3. Yeah. They play tomorrow, which is Saturday at 3. You already know I'm going to be tuning into that. Let me know in the comment section. Do y'all want me to talk about how Bryce Young does? If y'all do, I will. It's as simple as that. Remember, it is the preseason, but I think we can all agree on this. CJ Stroud, he didn't play good. Let me know your thoughts down below. But